You don't say to mama, you don't read, oh. Says the tracking angel. You don't boast to mama, you don't cut. Now chain you the cut. Okay, now make I use my microscope, scan a reality scan, nigga area Biafra phobia mentality. See, set Mazen Nnamdi Kanu free. One war. They don't want to hear the name of Biafra. For them is a scary name of Biafra. I love this very name of Biafra. Biafra, most I Jaja bless Biafra, Chukwu Kika Biama bless Biafra, conscientiousness bless Biafra, Biafra, Biafra. Started in 1804 by Utman Danfodio, Rinom go be to Sokoto, Sa Amadou Bello, they massacred the Hausa, Maragi and Pura. What about the Shua, Zamfara and referendum is the voice of everyone. Real freedom, Yahweh must be done on the land. Simon, they don't want to hear the name of Biafra. For them is a scary name of Biafra. I love this very name of Biafra. Biafra, Biafra. Most I Jaja bless Biafra. Chukwu Kika Biama bless Biafra. Conscientiousness bless Biafra. They tried by the Canaries, these reckless Fulanis. They conquered the Lorraine, fooling. They killing in Benue every day. Niger State and Plateau State, the whole of Middle State every day. Our move, don't do. Say we move, but now we move. They don't want to hear the name of Biafra. For them is a scary name of Biafra. I love this very name of Biafra. Biafra, Biafra. Most I Jaja bless Biafra. Chukwu Kika Biama bless Biafra. Conscientiousness bless Biafra. Biafra, Biafra. We know that they are the terrorists. Like the man called Shegumi, terrorist. Gabe Sheva Dixinabemi, terrorist. Isa Ali Ibrahim Batami, terrorist. Boko Haram in the army, terrorists. They stop the people from farming, terrorists. Abubakar Malami, terrorists. Mainstream media swami, terrorists. Now we have more sellers than buyers. Information minister liar, Mr. like Mohammed and liar. The truth is Biafra's fire. They don't want to hear the name of Biafra. For them is a scary name of Biafra. I love this very name of Biafra. Biafra. Most I Jaja bless, Chukwu Kika Biama bless.
Ekpa, O Mary Bonizu, Bonioya, Abakare, Mama Ora, Unapoli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's a three. Unapoli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's a three. Unapoli Mary Nnamdi bu Oyedu Ekpa, O Mary Bonizu, Bonioya, Abakare, Mama Ora, Unapoli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's a three. Unapoli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's a three. Unapoli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's a three. Unapoli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's a three. Unapoli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's a three. Unapoli Mary Nnamdi.
Today is Tuesday.
Thank you. Ụtụtụ ọma ụmụ Chineke, ụtụtụ ọma ndị ọma, ụtụtụ ọma ndị ọma njibiri, ụtụtụ ọma ụmụ Biafra. My name is Raphael Chamaka Ajere, also known as Pastor Vam Vam Vam. I greet you all this morning and I bring you good tidings. Victory is guaranteed. A guaranteed victory for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa from their appeal. Because of this, the zoo called Nigeria is having a sleepless night. They are confused. They are doing everything within their power to stop anything appeal. They are fighting with enemies also within to try and stop the appeal case of Mazi Simon Ekpa. They are doing everything using what they call political solution and all this nonsense. You know, it's not today we started hearing about political solution. They want to use it to dislodge anything called appeal. Because already everywhere is boiling from the conviction of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Everywhere is boiling. But the man in the center of the storm is a victor, guaranteed victor. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be their end. Simon Ekpa will be their end. I tell you, without mixing words. Now, I want you people to come down now and listen to me. Listen to me. Do you know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, from 2015, you know, whenever they are telling you he jumped bail, he jumped bail. From 2015, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told the Buhari, in your court, you cannot jail me, because he knew there was no case against him. The jurisdiction case also was going to play out in 2015. They could not in any way pin anything on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They have searched everywhere and they knew. When they came up with that shorty for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and they freed him, the plan was set him free with shorty, then go to his house and unalive him, because there is no way we can win him in this court. Oh my God. From 2015, no. So I want to take you back. So I want to remind you, when they are telling you he jumped bail, ask those bastards. Ask them. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, was he not enjoying his bail? That case, was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu afraid of that case? Do you remember all the condition they gave to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu knew that that condition was a useless condition. You should not talk to people. You should not talk to more than 3 people. You should go. What kind of rubbish condition was that? Conditions that never existed in any case, in any way. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu went home fearlessly, and as he was going, people decided to follow him in their millions. Remember, there was a movement, a procession that saw military people blocking the road. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came down from his convoy and said, who are those people? He went there, he dislodged them from the road with the word of his mouth. The military, they bow. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu went home. Do you remember in his house, when people came, the videos are still there on the internet. There was an ocean, a sea of humanity. Look at people. You cannot count them in their millions that came to Afariku Ibeku at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's palace. Remember, he is a prince. They came to pay him homage in their millions. Many of them were dressed in, in a corporate, outfits. Some of them in procession, some of them in marching outfits, some of them in a lot of fanfare to come and visit the supreme leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a unique being. He is a child of heaven. He is one individual that Chukwuoke Kabiama loves so much. He's one individual that even the Son of God himself, Jesus Christ, loves so much. Those of you that believe in Jesus Christ, do you know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu believe also in Jesus Christ? He called him Yeshua. Most of his program, he prays the Lord's Prayer. You remember? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a unique being. You don't know him. If you don't know him, go back to Radio Biafra and learn about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Look, every effort to silence Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is showing the whole world that, look, this man, he is just like the Son of God, because Chukwuoke Kabiama gave him a special anointing. A special call because he humbled himself and God lifted him up. He did not usurp any authority. He bowed to the authority of the Most High. He bowed to the authority of Yeshua. He does not take authority of God, but God, out of his humility, decided to set him ahead of the people of heaven, the children of the land of the rising sun. All those plans to unalive him, it failed. Why did it fail? Because Nnamdi Kanu committed no crime. He was calling for the freedom of his people. The zoo, Nigeria, and Britain, they knew that 2015 was already a lost game for them. They couldn't even win him in their own court. So in order to silence and destroy everything, they now send army to go and unalive him in his own house, knowing fully well that he was enjoying his bail. And Chukwu Kikabiam, who always revealed things to Nnamdi Kanu, delivered him from a whisker in that particular onslaught. We found him somewhere in Jerusalem at the Wailing Wall, wailing and calling upon Chukwu Kikabiam for the redemption of the land of the rising sun. So they knew they could not defeat him in 2015. That is why today, when they went to Kenya to go and kidnap him, as they kidnapped him, they brought him, they thought they were going to finish him. He resurfaced again, he resurgent again, because trying to end him, Chukwu Kikabiama raised another formidable force. It is just like when Jesus Christ had disciples that were not formidable and not strong. But Chukwu Kikabiama raised another disciple like that called Paul the Apostle. The disciple called Paul the Apostle, he is just like Simon Ekpa. Yes, Simon Ekpa was against Nnamdi Kanu before and against Biafra. Do you remember? He even destroyed Biafra flag. When people came to Nuremberg or somewhere in Germany to celebrate about Biafra, Simon Ekpa was one of the people that stopped them and told them, I am a Nigerian. You cannot come here and talk about Biafra. He is just like Apostle Paul. Then when the anointing came upon him, like God visited Paul of Tarsus on his way to Damascus, the scale from the eyes of Apostle Paul, the scale from the eyes of Simon Ekpa fell off. And Simon Ekpa received the anointing. And when he received the anointing, that is when Nnamdi Kanu now anointed him and said, this is my son, Simon Ekpa. Listen to him. I have called him, I have chosen him. You must listen to him and share his videos. Some of you are just following today. You don't even know when this thing started. Nnamdi Kanu anointed him, gave him the authority, and said, this Simon Ekpa, listen to him.
You must go and listen to Simon Ekpa, who is doing a very fantastic job. Very great job that Simon Ekpa is doing. Very, very, absolutely fantastic job that he's doing. You must listen to him and share his videos accordingly. Very, very important. He is bringing a new dimension to this very awareness that we're making, and you must listen to him. Very, very important.
When that new dimension started, they tried everything to bring him down. They even promised him all the things they promised Nnamdi Kanu that Nnamdi Kanu rejected. They told him, we will make you richer than Dangote. He rejected all of them. And then he told them that, look, if you try to stop Nnamdi Kanu and you failed, I am even tougher. When Nnamdi Kanu was looking for 100 men, he said, okay, let me not exaggerate that I am 100. Okay, for your own, look, I am telling you now, I am 50. Look for other 50. Nnamdi Kanu could not even find. But he stood his ground. More than 100 men in one man. And he told them, if you try to eat me, I will eat you up like cancer.
Like this, you will be infected. If you eat me as a meat, all cancer can cancer maybe, or you cancer you finish again. Come and eat me as a meat. If you eat me and go to sleep and wake up, you know, you can't eat me.
And he told them again that he is a bone you cannot chew.
Ọkpụkpụ mbụ abụrụ ọkpụkpụ na-anọ mmadụ n'onu onye ahụ ka dị ndụ. No. Ọkpụkpụ nke mụ ọ nọrọ gị n'onu ogbuo gị pee. No matter what, you can't take it out. Agbago mụ Nigeria n'onu. Gbaa ndị iro Biafra n'onu. Gbaa ndị si na
No, he choked them. They tried everything to stop these people. They failed. And then they did everything. And the way they kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu, they tried everything to also stop Simon Ekpa in Finland. And now, when they are defeating them on every front, they could not even bring any evidence. Nnamdi Kanu now, in his case, They convicted him. Master Manekpa, in his case, they convicted him. Master Manekpa, 6 years conviction. Nnamdi Kanu, they tried everything. They said it was supposed to be death penalty. Okay, we give him life imprisonment. Now, Master Nnamdi Kanu, there is an appeal that he is supposed to go for. They said, no, 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 let us not talk about appeal. You know, political solution. Political solution that started how many times? Master Simon Ekpa, let us not talk about appeal. They are trying to do some kind of background work again in his own. Simon Ekpa told them, I am coming for that appeal. And in that appeal, while they are dealing with Master Nnamdi Kanu, Master Simon Ekpa is gathering the momentum of how he will defeat them in Finland. Are you seeing the combination of a tornado that the zoo cannot comprehend and they cannot defeat? This is Biafra at work. When we talk about Biafra, this is it. So you don't see anything distracting you. This is the formidable force for Biafra. And now, as Simon Ekpa's case in Finland is gathering momentum, they are trying to do whatever they want to do with the appeal, but the appeal have gathered so much momentum that there is a formidable lawyer coming for the appeal with so much evidence to nail both Nigeria, nail both Jumo, Olajumoke, nail all these idiotic criminals that are coming to lie to the whole world about everything that is evidently showing to the whole world now of what Nigeria is. Nobody can deny that Nigeria is a terrorist country. Now ask me, why is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's appeal being stumbled upon or being stopped? By all means, they said he will not appeal because already the whole world have seen that what Omotosho did there was a charade, a child play, a gimmick, a disgrace, a shame. Now Nigeria is becoming more and more disgraced. There is a video analysis I will bring to you this morning. I'm preparing myself so that you will open your ears and listen to that analysis. I don't know this person before. I just saw it. This particular channel, it is called, what is the channel? I think is it TW, whatever. We're going to see it. I'll bring it out. So the analysis was so deep, showing you that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case is now becoming a global case. The whole world is watching. That's why all this pretending of using Sultan or Sokoto, using all these nonsense people to come and talk about the political solution and to come and tell you that the appeal, no need for appeal. It is a case that the national, this thing, they will pardon. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu does not need pardon, you pathetic fools. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can never ask you for pardon, you idiotic animals. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will defeat you because that is the only way Biafra will come. Mazi Simon Ekpa will not beg you in any way because he committed no crime. Everybody involved in Finland, all those people, all those attorneys that are working against our freedom, those prosecution that were paid to go in Finland and lie, Jumoke and Jumo, whatever, you went and lie. All of you, your shame will be brought into open. You see what is happening to Nigeria now? God is opening their nyash so that by the time Simon Ekpa wins his case, by the time Nnamdi Kanu wins his case, there will be no argument anymore for the restoration of Biafra. What are we telling you? The miracle of Biafra is about to happen, and it will shock every one of them to the bone marrows. Oh my God. You people don't know what is coming. No? Nnamdi Kanu is a unique species. Mazi Simon Ekpa are unique species. You can't buy them. There is no price tag on them. If you like, bring all the gold in this world. The holy land of Biafra is worth more than 1 billion bars of gold anywhere in this world. The holy land of Biafra is worth more than 1,000 sacks of diamond anywhere in this world. The land of the rising sun must be restored. Or the north for. Tell your neighbor. Or the north for. It must be restored. What are you telling me? Everything they are doing now is to they want to see if they can stop the appeal of Nnamdi Kanu. Allow him to come for appeal, because at that appeal, he will disgrace all of you. All the nyash of Nigeria will open. I have about 20 minutes video that I want to play. So a lot of things are in my head to tell you, but I want you to listen to the words of this person. I was listening to it this morning and said, this is it. This is an analysis. This is the point. Because right now, every attempt to stop Nnamdi Kanu, every attempt to silence him, now those of you that are calling him terrorist, are you seeing the way he's being followed, the way he's being supported, the way people are even paying him homage? People are even making pilgrimage to Sokoto. They took him to Sokoto thinking that place, it will close. Everything about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we'll all forget it. Now, are you seeing that he is not just an ordinary person? Are you seeing it? That even when they buried Christ and thought that everything was gone, he told them that in 3 days I will rise and this building will stand again. Just bury it. In 3 days I will rise up. But anything you try to do to Nnamdi Kanu, he is rising up to make things happen for the people of God. This is Biafra we are talking about, my people. This is Biafra. And Nnamdi Kanu is the vehicle, the instrument that Chukwu Kabiama have called upon to make it happen. And his true disciple is winning the war internationally. Nnamdi Kanu winning the war locally, and also the whole world. Their eyes and their attention are on the zoo right now, like this. Like this. Tinubu is being disgraced. All of them are being disgraced. Nnamdi Kanu is winning, and Biafra, we are going home. Let me bring you this video so that it will be clear on you to understand that this game of trying to stop the appeal, we are going to tell them, you people are just stupid. All of you, I know you, some of you, they pretend as if they are interested in Nnamdi Kanu. Political solution. Let him be free. Let him be free. No. Freedom for Nnamdi Kanu is freedom for Biafra. So if Nnamdi Kanu is free and Biafra is not free, Nnamdi Kanu would rather remain in that prison. That's why our prime minister was telling you people, instead of me to talk to that shameless idiot called Ngozi Orabueze, it is better I spend 100 years in jail, because he identified and finally knew that Ngozi Orabueze is a stooge of the Fulani set up there. All these things she's doing is to distract the appeal of our prime minister, to try and label. Look, do you see the way she's talking now? The way Ngozi Orabueze is talking. Some of those things are the things they are even using to accuse our prime minister. That he did this, that Ngozi is doing it, and nobody is coming close to her. You know, how? Because she's an instrument from Fulani to try or stop the appeal of our prime minister. You see her talking, Nigeria, we will fight Nigeria, we will do Nigeria. Whose side? She's a Nigerian agent. I don't need to talk too much about that. Come and listen to the video I've got for you. And then if we have time, we'll talk again. Otherwise, in the afternoon, I will bring more update for you. But listen to this, very important. Let me know who is this person. Let me give you the credit of this particular channel. The channel is Truthline. Truthline is the channel. Truthline. That is the channel that we are bringing this in from. Truthline. Any high court sentence set for overturn as defense consortium exposes major flaws. Yeah, I believe this is the one I'm looking for. 1 minute, guys. Wait. 1 minute, guys. Okay, 1 minute. Let me show. Now that's the video I'm about to play. Yes. Okay, now that's it. So let's listen to this particular analysis, and then we will talk. It's about 20 minutes. So pay attention in 20 minutes.
Day, the 2nd of December, 2025. It's now 12 days since Nnamdi Kanu was sentenced to life imprisonment and taken to Sokoto State Prison. In just under 2 weeks, Sokoto has quietly become a kind of political and emotional pilgrimage ground. Lawyers, politicians, traditional and religious leaders, family members and supporters have all been making that journey to see him and to plan the next move. Because behind the prison walls, behind the noise on social media, there is one question that now dominates everything. Can this life sentence survive at the Court of Appeal? Stay with me. Where things stand right now, as we speak, Nnamdi Kanu's legal clock is ticking. From the day of his conviction and sentencing, his team gained 14 days to properly file and register a notice of appeal and supporting documents, and about 90 days in total, roughly 3 months, to fully compile, file, and perfect the substantive appeal with all the detailed arguments, affidavits, and authorities. According to his team, that filing process is not yet fully complete, but he has until around the 4th of December to put finishing touches on key aspects of the appeal paperwork. So, between now and that date, everything is about appeal, appeal, appeal. Meanwhile, in the past few days, we've seen some very visible visits to Sokoto prison. One of the most notable is the governor of Abia State, Alex Orti, who went to see Kanu in prison. That visit is important on several levels. Symbolically, it shows that Kanu's case is not just a private matter, it is political, regional, and national. Personally, it sends a message to Kanu himself that he is not forgotten and that there is still pressure at different levels for a lawful and fair resolution to his case. Strategically, it's reasonable to assume that the visit also involved discussions about the upcoming appeal and the hurdles his team believes they are facing, because according to those close to him, there are powerful interests who do not want this case to get anywhere near a serious appellate review.
They don't want
Why?
appeal.
That takes us into the heart of today's episode. Why some people
Now, they don't want any appeal. They are avoiding this appeal. They are avoiding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu appeal more than Boko Haram. Nigeria government are avoiding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's appeal more than Boko Haram, because when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gets in there, it will expose them so that you understand that Nigeria needs to end. So they are avoiding it. And then somebody came in to distract me a little bit. I'm sorry for answering him. I need to attend to him. Now, whenever I mention Ngozi Orabueze, some of you get very, very turned off. You know why I keep mentioning her? Because time is coming when you will understand very well why I'm mentioning her, because she's a devil. So you understand. So if you love Ngozi Orabueze, I am sorry. You are loving a devil. You are loving a Jezebel. So put her, the law for her out of your mind, because she's an agent of the darkness, agent of Zoo. So take the law for her out of your mind and focus and know that she's a distraction. She's not doing anything for Biafra. Nothing. Nothing. There's nothing she's saying about Biafra that she is doing. She has never said one thing that she did for you. One. Just show me one thing she said she did for you that she did. I will come back to that. In fact, I will make that a program, maybe in the afternoon. I will focus on Ngozi Orabueze this afternoon. So let us listen to this particular message. So that your love for, you say, my message is very sweet, but I will add Ngozi Orabueze to it. I need to add it so that by the time it start happening, you understand that vam was hitting on it very well. So they are avoiding this appeal. Why are they avoiding it? So you need to understand. Pay attention. Now the message is coming from this particular person. Truthline Television, Truthline on YouTube. Thank you so much. Let's listen. Why are they avoiding this appeal? Why?
serious appellate review. Why? That takes us into the heart of today's episode. Why some people don't want an appeal. Let's be clear. This is not a small case. Nnamdi Kanu is not an ordinary defendant. He is a separatist leader, a major political figure, and arguably one of the most polarizing personalities in Nigeria today. His supporters, especially in the Southeast and in the diaspora, believe his trial has been deeply political from day one. His critics believe he crossed many lines, especially with his broadcast and rhetoric, and must face the full weight of the law. But both sides agree on one thing. Whatever happens at the Court of Appeal will be historic. Now, according to a statement issued by his foreign-based defense support network, sometimes described as the Global Defense Consortium for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the conviction delivered by Justice James Omotosho at the Federal High Court in Abuja has some serious legal flaws that they believe cannot survive on appeal. Sahara reporters. This is not a casual argument. They say they have reviewed every word of the judgment, carefully checked it against the Nigerian Constitution, examined relevant Supreme Court decisions, and cross-checked with international legal standards. Their conclusion, in summary, is this: a conviction founded on a law that has been repealed is legally impossible to sustain. Strong words. But what exactly do they mean? The repealed law debate explains simply, to understand this, we have to slow down and break the issue into simple language. Nnamdi Kanu was convicted under the Terrorism Prevention Amendment Act 2013, often shortened to TPA, 2013. The Nation newspaper. However, in 2022, Nigeria enacted a new law, the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act 2022, sometimes called TPPA 2022. This newer law repealed the 2013 Act, meaning the old one was replaced by a new framework, the ZordanExaminer.com. Now, here is the controversy. Kanu's defense team and their international partners argue that once a law is repealed, it becomes dead, extinct, and of no legal effect, unless there is a clear saving clause that keeps certain parts alive for ongoing cases. In their view, using a repealed law as the foundation of a conviction is a fatal error. They say, you cannot charge, try, or convict a person under a law that no longer exists in the legal books. They point to classic Supreme Court cases, such as Attorney General of Lagos State versus Dosunmu, 1989, and Waifo versus Attorney General of Bendel State, where the Supreme Court stressed that when a statute is repealed, it is as if it never existed, unless a new law expressly says that certain effects or proceedings should continue. The SouthernExaminer.com. Their argument is simple. If the Terrorism Prevention Act 2013 has been repealed, and if the new 2022 law doesn't properly preserve the old one for continuing trials, then a conviction based on that repealed law should be a nullity. In other words, the entire trial collapses because its legal foundation has disappeared. On the other side, however, we have the position of the trial court and some other legal commentators. They argue that the offenses Kanu was accused of were allegedly committed between 2018 and 2021, a period when the 2013 law was still in force. The Nation newspaper. The 2022 law contains saving clauses, for example, in sections that preserve ongoing investigations and prosecutions, so that cases already filed under the old law can continue and be concluded, even after the new law comes into effect. Global.ariseplay.com. So you have two big pictures. Defense consortium view. A repealed law is dead. You cannot build a conviction on a dead law. The trial court acted without jurisdiction. Trial court. Some commentators' view. Yes, the law was repealed, but the offenses happened while it was valid. The new law saves and preserves ongoing cases, so the court still had power to proceed. This is the legal battlefield that now shifts to the Court of Appeal. What the foreign defense team is actually saying. Let's listen more closely to the logic of Kanu's International Defense Consortium, especially the lawyer who spoke publicly, Barrister Christopher Chidira, speaking on behalf of the group, Sahara Reporters. He essentially says, for over 4 decades, the Supreme Court of Nigeria has been consistent. Once a law is repealed, it becomes dead and extinct. That dead law cannot be the source of a valid criminal charge, trial, or conviction, unless the new law has a proper saving clause that clearly keeps specific parts alive. They go further to say, a court that applies a repealed law is acting without jurisdiction. Any proceedings conducted under such a repealed law are a nullity, meaning they are void from the beginning. To make it even clearer for non-lawyers, they use everyday examples. You cannot use the 1979 Constitution today to decide the 2025 case. You cannot revive old military decrees that have long been overtaken by newer democratic laws. You cannot run a modern criminal trial under a procedure law that has already been scrapped and replaced. So, they argue, if no judge can resurrect the 1979 Constitution, old military decrees, or outdated criminal procedure laws, then no judge should be able to resurrect the 2013 terrorism law after the 2022 law has come into force. From their perspective, by refusing to properly apply the 2022 Act, by continuing to rely heavily on the 2013 Act, the trial court ignored mandatory legal transitions, contradicted binding Supreme Court authority, and thereby acted without jurisdiction. And in law, once the jurisdiction of a court is successfully challenged, everything done in that court is like a building on quicksand, it sinks. Now, contrast that with those who defend the judgment. They say, criminal law does not bend backward. You are charged under the law that existed when you allegedly committed the offense. The 2022 law explicitly saves ongoing cases, meaning that even if the old law is repealed generally, it still remains alive for purposes of prosecutions already in motion. allafrica.com. So you see, this is no longer just an emotional argument. It is a purely legal contest about how to read the Constitution, the Terrorism Acts, and the Supreme Court's own precedents. Beyond the repealed law, other legal and moral questions. And yet, the repealed law controversy is not the only issue that may come up on appeal. Remember, there are at least 3 other big themes around this case. Extraordinary rendition. In 2021, Kanu was seized in Kenya and brought back to Nigeria in a manner that a Kenyan High Court later declared unlawful and unconstitutional, awarding him compensation and describing his treatment as a violation of his rights. Wikipedia. The Nigerian Court of Appeal once discharged him on the basis of this illegality, but the Supreme Court later reversed that discharge in 2023, allowing the trial to continue while still acknowledging the controversy around the rendition. Wikipedia +1. The definition of terrorism. Part of the prosecution's case involved Kanu's broadcasts, including inflammatory language, alleged incitement, and alleged instructions regarding explosives and illegal importation of radio equipment. The Nation newspaper critics ask, at what point does speech, even harsh political speech, cross the line into terrorism? Supporters say broadcasting and agitation should be treated as political expression, not terrorism. The court, however, found that certain counts did amount to terrorist acts under the law. The state of Nigeria's institutions. Many Nigerians look at this case as a mirror of the wider system. How professional is the judiciary? How free from political pressure are the courts and security agencies? Are we operating a merit-based system where the best legal minds rise? Or do
And you know that the court lawyer, Omotosho, is Wike's lawyer. Wike has done everything for them, built houses for them. There are many things you should be considering. This analysis is top notch. Please, you need to subscribe to this channel. I will tell you about the channel again. I will give them the credit. This guy did a very fantastic analysis here. Please, he's still on. Let me allow him to finish.
How professional is the judiciary? How free from political pressure are the courts and security agencies? Are we operating a merit-based system where the best legal minds rise? Or do appointments and actions reflect patronage and politics? Supporters of Kanu say the case exposes deep cracks, from security agencies to prosecutors to the bench. Those who support the conviction say the process shows that no one is above the law and that even powerful agitators can be held accountable. Whichever side you lean towards, one thing is clear. This case will be cited in Nigerian law schools and courtrooms for years to come. What the appeal really means. So, what happens now? Over the next days and weeks, Kanu's legal team is expected to file and perfect the notice of appeal, set out detailed grounds challenging the use of the 2013 terrorism law.
The notice of appeal. Look, anybody that is talking now, that is not allowing Nnamdi Kanu's legal team to make sure they file appeal and make sure that the appeal is moved forward and approved as the law must allow. Even though the conviction was wrong and everything is in it flawed, and some of you are being biased and you want to look into it and want to use it to get pardon. No. Nnamdi Kanu is not talking about pardon, because if you talk about pardon, that means the offense remains. The offense remains and it will always be visited. So Nnamdi Kanu will never accept a pardon based on the fact that he was convicted right. Nobody convicted him right. So that is why all of you, both Alesotiu and all you, all of you, the law must first of all allow the appeal to come and show the whole world where Omotosho got the law, where he convicted Nnamdi Kanu. Omotosho, where is the law? That is the point. So I will allow this man to finish. But you must, anybody that is want to celebrate, let us, if they advise you now, let me make a message for Aloy Ejimako and the rest. And Nnamdi Kanu's advisors, because right now, Nnamdi Kanu officially doesn't have a lawyer, but he has consultants, which are the lawyers, Aloy Ejimako and Maxwell and the rest of them. Let me advise you people. Anybody advising you to forget about the appeal or trying to slow you down about the appeal, do not listen to them. Because if you listen to them, Nnamdi Kanu will lay a curse on you. If you listen to any one of them telling you, let us go for political, and maybe Alessoti telling you that they will succeed, and the Sultan of Sokoto telling you that I will be the one that will do it, In Sokoto, did you people see the girl? Maybe I'll bring the video this afternoon. A young girl was crying just because she spoke up against what the government is doing, against the evil practice of the government. They want to destroy the girl's life. A young girl, oh. So you're telling me now that Sultan of Sokoto, who hates Nnamdi Kanu and hates every one of you, they want to use something to deceive you. That Sultan of Sokoto, we forgive Nnamdi Kanu, we tell president, and you accept it and forget about the appeal. As Nnamdi Kanu is swearing for you, the land of Biafra will swear for you. God will punish all of you. So listen to this. Nnamdi Kanu, that appeal, he has a time to meet it up. He must meet it up, and Nigeria must be disgraced. There's no way they will win Nnamdi Kanu. It is not possible. It's not possible.
Alleged jurisdictional defects, the treatment of extraterritorial broadcasts, and possibly issues around fair trial rights and the earlier rendition. The Court of Appeal will then be asked to decide questions like, did the trial court have jurisdiction given the repeal of the old terrorism law and the coming into force of the new one? Were the right laws applied in the right way at the right time? Did the judge correctly interpret the saving clauses in the 2022 Act? And more broadly, was this trial conducted in line with the Constitution, past Supreme Court rulings and international human rights obligations? If the Court of Appeal agrees with the defense consortium that the trial was anchored on a repealed or wrongly applied law, it could set aside the conviction, possibly order a retrial under the proper law, or take other remedies open to it under Nigerian law. If, on the other hand, the Court of Appeal agrees that the savings clauses in the 2022 Act are enough to preserve the trial and that the judge correctly applied them, then the life sentence could be upheld, subject to any further appeal to the Supreme Court. So, the stakes are extremely high. For Nnamdi Kanu, it is about freedom versus spending the rest of his life in prison. For the federal government, it is about defending its handling of a long-running, high-profile security case. For Nigeria's legal system, it is about credibility, consistency, and respect for the rule of law. What this means for ordinary Nigerians, some people may ask, how does this case affect my daily life? I'm just trying to survive. It affects you more than you think. Because if laws can be applied carelessly, politically, or selectively, then no one is truly safe, regardless of whether you support Kanu or not. If courts cannot be trusted to strictly follow the law, then confidence in the system collapses, and everything from business to security suffers. If government ignores court orders or manipulates charges, it sets a precedent that can be used tomorrow against any other citizen or group. On the other hand, if courts handle this appeal with integrity, transparency, and courage, if the judgment is well-reasoned, grounded in law and evidence, and if all parties, government, defense, and public obey the final decision, then Nigeria quietly takes a step towards a stronger rule of law, even in very emotional and politically sensitive cases. That is why, beyond the name Nnamdi Kanu, this appeal is also a test of the soul of the justice system. What to watch for next? As we move closer to the December 4th filing milestone and deeper into the 90-day appeal window, there are a few things to watch. Will Kanu's team successfully file all necessary appeal documents on time? How will the Court of Appeal respond to the argument that a repealed law cannot sustain a conviction? Will the court lean more toward the dead law principle or towards the savings clause interpretation? And finally, how will this case influence other high-profile trials in Nigeria going forward? We will continue to follow the facts, read the court papers, and bring you calm, detailed analysis, without noise, without insults, and without incitement. Because at Truthline Africa, our aim is simple: help you understand what is really going on, so you can form your own informed opinion. If you watched up to this point, let me know in the comments. Do you think the Court of Appeal will uphold this conviction or set it aside? And do you believe the repealed law argument is strong enough to overturn a life sentence? Remember to like, share, and subscribe if you find value in this kind of deep dive. Stay informed, stay safe. This is Truthline Africa.
Wow. In fact, I have never listened to an analysis as precise and as top-notch as this. In fact, I'm saving this, and I want you guys to go and subscribe to Truthline Africa YouTube. Truth Line Africa, this is something else. This analysis is top notch. If you listen to it from beginning to end with rapt attention, you won't miss anything. You understand that any game they want to play with this Nnamdi Kanu case, why they are afraid of appeal, you will know why. And all the people that are fighting against us, that are standing with Master Simon Ekpa on the appeal, imagine the two of them, the two Iroquois of Biafra, are at the crossroads with appeal. And the enemies are fighting this appeal. And you can see how they will come out, nip the devil on the board, and Biafra will arise. Like the phoenix, that we will never die. We keep rising, we keep emerging, we keep flying high and high. The land of the rising sun is coming. Gidigbam will stand. No shaking, no going back. Master Nnamdi Kanu is a man of principle, a man of tenacity, a man that doesn't flipper. He doesn't flipper. He stands resolute. That's why Vam Bam Bam stands resolute. I don't change. I don't go left, right, and center. If I tell you something in the morning, I come back in the evening, it is the same thing. As I'm telling you about this shameless Ngozi Arabueze, it is the same thing. As I'm telling you about this criminal Ogenkere, it is the same thing. I will not come back tomorrow and tell you that these people are holy, except they repent today, and I know it. God bless you. I'll see you later this afternoon. Airborne Biafrans. Biafra must emerge. And this victory, it will be so sweet. You know, sweet like a pepper soup. Happy holiday very soon. Airborne. Share this video and make it go viral. Make sure you appreciate Truth Line Africa for this analysis. We will play it again and we will listen to it, and maybe we'll have people to come and analyze it, hopefully. I keep saying this, but time never allows us. But I love this one. I think I love this one. I do love this one. Bless you, everyone.